I think the last restart, the difference was just fresh tires. You know, we had fresh tires over Martin Truex Jr. We had about 3 lap scuffs. He had about 6 or 8 lap scuffs, and that was the difference. Just being able to get a good restart, get to his outside, and be able to pin him down a little bit in turn 3. And I had some slide room. He really didn't. So that was just kind of the momentum that set us free of being able to get out front and carry it on to the end.
How did the track change throughout the race, being swept clean beforehand?
Yeah, the track went through a bit of a transition. I think especially about 2/3 of the way through. We had a really good car, about 6th place car, but not a winning car. But then we made a lot of changes to it throughout the event, and then of course too, with about 2/3 of the way through, I feel like the racetrack got really loose, and a lot of guys, I don't know that they were expecting that, but sort of came to us, and you know, we were able to prevail there at the end, having a fast car throughout the final probably 130 laps.
4 straight NASCAR wins. We hear athletes talk about getting into a zone sometimes. Can a driver get into a zone?
Yeah, drivers can definitely get into zones, and you know, feels good to be in one right now, or at least be winning races, doing the things that we're doing. So again, these guys, Adam Stevens, everyone on this Interstate Batteries Camry has done a phenomenal job for me, and makes my job look a little bit easier.
When you have to sit through a delay like tonight, does that affect you preparing for a race?
I wouldn't say that you know, sitting through a delay hinders your performance or preparation or anything like that. It just slows the thing down, slows the process down, you know. So I hate it for the fans. They had to go through that. It's a late night, of course, for people on TV on the West Coast too. But you know, it's fun to be able to race these races all the way through the whole distance, and I'm glad the weather held off for us to get that done. I don't know that you ever really send a message. I guess you just know that you're sending the message that these guys got to work harder to catch up. But we weren't the best car tonight. I think Martin Truex was. He was going to win the race, and we were just fortunate to have the right tires at the right point of the race there at the end. It's always special to win here in Texas with Interstate on the car. You know, they get the spring race and M&M's gets the fall race, but it's a good trade-off. Those guys do a great job for us. They've been with us for 25 years, and the relationship I have with Norm goes a long ways back to where I've been here for 10 years. So pretty special, just fun to be able to have them here and to be sticking around with us all night long. And you know, Norm's not a young gun anymore, as much as we all like him to be, but he still hangs with the best of them, that's for sure.
Oh, it was a good weekend. We were, you know, from a business standpoint, we were up on the overall attendance for the weekend. Hate that the weatherman missed it, and missed it big time. And but you know, we had a really nice crowd tonight for the big race, Duck Commander 500, and out of nowhere, there's mature, smart, thinking Kyle Busch at Victory Lane, and the guys you kind of expected to be here, the way the early parts of the race went, they weren't around to see that. So it was a really interesting race. Anybody questions? Well, very surprised at the finish because, you know, watching him early in the race, he was, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th, along through there. I mean, in a good position. But you had, you know, Martin Truex, you had Carl Edwards, those guys up front, and they looked like they were dominant. But, you know, one thing after another happened, and a great move on that restart, and a little tangle by a couple other guys, and he was, you know, gone. Once he got in the good, clean air, he was gone. So, you know, a strange ending and an interesting winner in a race that you wouldn't have predicted him to win by the way the first, 4/5 of it went. Never a bad race weekend here. You know, we had a lot of fun. I think the fans were having a blast. You know, I know the ones that I visited with up there, even with a 2-hour delay, they were having a great time. So, you know, we're going to have a talk with Mr. Delkus. He owes us some money. He owes these fans an apology, and but you know, it's not like he's ever right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Kyle has swept the races here before. You know, it's not the first time he's won Xfinity race, the Cup race, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I think somebody figures it out. Maybe they get lucky with a hit on a setup, and off they go. But this was kind of an odd race because you had Carl Edwards and you had, for that matter, Matt Kenseth. You had the 78 car, Martin Truex, out there, and all of a sudden, boom, they're out of the way, and here you got Kyle and victory lane. So yeah, that's why you got to stick all the way to the finish of every race, just like you do every ball game. You never know who's going to wind up winning that thing.